That was a scene from a new drama series called Maybury. It's set in the psychiatric unit of a general hospital. My name is Patrick Stewart, and I play the consultant psychiatrist, Dr. Edward Roebuck. That scene represents a fairly cliched and conventional view of mental illness. In fact, it's a bit of a cheat, because that character was not a patient, but a relative. But a series about mental illness, a drama series. That character was overwhelmed with her feelings of anger and frustration. And drama is about feelings. Psychiatry deals with the condition when feelings have overwhelmed someone. And illnesses take many forms. In one episode, a young man, Keith Stone, has a problem which is dramatically affecting his marriage. You say that you still love Jean. Do you still find her sexually attractive? Does she arouse you?
Well, in theory, yes, but in practice, well, that's why we're here, isn't it?
Why don't you talk me through a typical occasion on which you make love?
What is there to say? Into bed, lights out, check for the nightie, on, stop, off, go.
This is a hospital series, but it's not a conventional one. For instance, it doesn't deal with the lives and loves of the doctors and the nurses. It's not a drama documentary exposing the life behind the asylum walls. Psychiatry has a bad name. Mental illness is met with fear and superstition and myth and ignorance. This series hopes to break down some of that ignorance and some of that myth. In Maybury, there are no locks. The wards are open, the patients can come and go. This sometimes causes some concern to those who encounter a patient for the first time.
Ah, Dr. Roebuck. Do you know Ron Greenwood's number?
Winston, you're still wearing your pyjamas?
Can't find me tracksuit.
You had your breakfast?
No. Well, I ate it, but he took it all, Doctor. He's bad. Is that Ron Greenwood?
No, that's Mr. Stone. He's come to see me.
Oh, what's the matter with you, then? The bed next to mine's empty.
Now, Winston, why don't you go back up to the ward and put some clothes on?
I'll go back up to the wall. Put some clothes on.
Do you let them just wander about?
I'm sorry, has Winston been aggressive?
No, not really, but I mean...
Then there'd be no point in locking him up, would there? As an actor, psychiatry has a particular interest because the two roles overlap. Modern actors are fascinated by motivation and psychoanalysis. Whether you use it directly or not, it's central to the way we work. And that's at the heart of psychiatry too. Psychiatry and acting is also improvisational. As an actor, we have to give an impression of spontaneity, of something happening for the first time. And because in mental illness, ideas and thoughts fly around in all directions, because logic is often thrown out of the window, I've had to follow a patient's curious train of thought in whatever direction it might lead. And in that sense, the scenes have been like one large improvisation. Roebuck is warm, sympathetic, and understanding with the patients. In this next scene, again dealing with the patient's relative, the mother of a girl who has tried to kill herself, he's being very much tougher.
I won't be fobbed off, Dr. Roebuck. I haven't driven all this way for nothing. Either I get some satisfactory answers, or I'm taking Joanna home, where I can guarantee the doctors will tell me what I want to know, because I will be paying them to.
What is it that you want to hear, Mrs. Langston?
I want to know why my daughter's done this, and who's responsible.
Well, I'm afraid I have no idea. And if you paid me a very great deal of money, I still wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, what's going on here? Seems to me you've just shoved her in a bed and forgotten her.
This hospital has saved Joanna's life, Mrs. Langston. You could have been coming to a funeral. Mrs. Langston, in a grown-up way, I suppose, was getting her bottom slapped. The commonplace when people are having any sort of mental difficulty is to say, pull yourself together. One of our patients, Percy Milton, is very distressed. Asking him to pull himself together isn't going to help him at all. Hello, Percy. You're not feeling too good? What is it? Would you like to have a talk? We could go somewhere else if you like. It's all feeling a bit much. Here. Why don't we go somewhere quiet, away from everyone else? The character of Eddie Roebuck links the stories of Maybury together. He's the permanent fixture. But it's always seemed to me that the stars of Maybury are the patients. Cyril Cusack and Pauline Delaney play two of them, Maisie and Mac. Maisie talks and talks and Mac barks. Suzanne Burtish and Michael Kitchen, Kenneth Haig, Barry Foster star in these stories. And in this next scene, Alfred Marks, as an alcoholic, Ronnie Winter, feels that the time has come for him to say goodbye to his stay in Maybury. Well, we won't detain you then, Ronnie. Good luck.
Real self-righteous load, isn't she? That's it. Write it down. Have a little natter when I've gone. Spout a few theories. Terrific. There's no theory to drink, you know. It just goes down. It's bloody simple. And until you come up with a bloody simple cure, you're just wasting your time. You write that down.
Alcoholism is one of the illnesses dealt with in the series. Others include acute depression, schizophrenia, manic depression, sexual dysfunction, and agoraphobia. In this next scene, Julia is someone who doesn't go out much. She hasn't been outside her front door for 18 months. Her husband, Martin, is a lawyer, and he has a fairly caustic view of psychiatrists and psychiatry.
I deal with psychiatrists all the time in court. They specialize in making the simple complicated.
You don't think that your relationship's complicated?
My wife can't go outside. Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Why can't she go outside?
You tell me.
I'm trying to.
I find it appalling that it's actually a profession dedicated to patronizing the general public.
Which profession are you referring to? Psychology or the law? Mental illness, like appendicitis, can happen to anybody. In our first story, Joanna is a third-year university student, intelligent, bright, attractive, well-liked, and very unhappy. Everyone makes their demands of her. Parents, tutors, lover, all their expectations have to be met. And she needs help. Do you think that you could come and see me again later in the week?
What's the point?
Oh, well, there is no point if you're content to go on feeling sorry for yourself.
That's the verdict, is it? From a psychiatrist? That I'm feeling sorry for myself? Oh, terrific.
No, I don't think that's what I said.
That's what I heard.
Maybury isn't about them. It's about you and me.